So why can't priests be married while they are priests? So this is an excellent question. Now, I want to begin by saying, technically speaking, the church has always had married priests. The church always have had priests who got married before they were ordained and then proceeded to go forward. However, back about 1500 years ago, the church was recognizing that there were some very serious problems, that people were not actually dedicating their lives to this. There was some nepotism going on in the church. There was some problems. And so the church looked around and said, who is actually fulfilling the role of being Christ in the world? And the answer was the monks. And so the church instituted the Council of Orange. If you were going to be a priest, you will follow the example of the monks. And the monks took promises, or they took vows of celibacy. And so the church for the past 1500 years has been doing that. Now, this is a discipline. If Pope Francis wanted to get up tomorrow and say, okay, we're going to get rid of this discipline, we can have married men become priests, it could be done. All it would require is Pope Francis' say. I don't think that would necessarily be a good idea, knowing from my own personal life. I don't know if I would be able to manage care for the church and also a family very well. But I do want to say, make sure that this is known, that this is a discipline that can be changed. Now, why is it a good discipline? And I would argue that we can find the reason for this in the scriptures itself. We can find this in the writings of St. Paul. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 7. So 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 7 says, I wish that all of you were as I am. And St. Paul is saying, I wish all of you lived solely for the Lord, that you were unmarried and lived just dedicated to the Lord. And then a few paragraphs down, he continues. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verses 32 through 35. I would like you to be free from concern. An unmarried man is concerned about the Lord's affairs, how he could please the Lord. But a married man is concerned about the affairs of this world, how he can please his wife, and his interests are divided. An unmarried woman or virgin is concerned about the Lord's affairs. Her aim is to be devoted to the Lord both in body and in spirit. But a married woman is concerned about the affairs of this world, how she can please her husband. I am saying this for your own good, not to restrict you, but that you may live in a right way in undivided devotion to the Lord. So St. Paul is saying living the celibate life is very useful for serving the Lord. And so the church, for the past 1500 years, has by and large followed this example of St. Paul, followed this exhortation of St. Paul to dedicate one's life completely and totally to the Lord. I would also say that there is something supernatural going on here as well, that the priest, by choosing to live a celibate life, is being an image of a person willing to give up the things of the world for the sake of Christ. That this is an incredibly useful witness that is being given to the world by saying, I reject the things that are normally associated as good of the world for the sake of the better thing that is to come. So it is ultimately also a witness to heaven itself and the faith that we all possess.